Hello, hello. Welcome to the first episode that I am recording with video. I'm always looking at how I can expand and grow. And I thought, why not take this podcast up a notch and add a video? It's been really comfortable, just recording, no makeup, no bra, just chilling. But you know what? I really wanted to up the ante, and this is upping the ante. With me, I have my beautiful Blue Yeti mic right here. And I also decided to wear something that I thought, you know what, just do you, Tia. I was going to wear a blouse as, just welcome to the first episode and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I'm going to do me. Okay. So I decided to wear my Hocus Pocus shirt. It's just a bunch of, here we go, Hocus Pocus. Yeah, I'm already in the zone for that. And I was going to say that I didn't have anything pumpkin yet, but I had pumpkin bear. It was like pumpkin something bear. So whatever, I'm ready for it. Okay. And I know that I haven't been on in a while on. Like this is Instagram Live. I know I haven't released a podcast in a while. So I'm going to get into that. And all that jazz. So this is going to be all about life updates, the Goddess Mastery Mastermind, and all that jazz. So I'm in a good place for so many reasons. I mean, my Eagles won last night. I'm recording this on a Tuesday. So I'm so excited for that. I'm a football fan, been watching football since I was a girl, since the days of Randall Cunningham. I love, 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 love football. And, while I do love football, I also know right after that is winter. Football season begins and it's like, oh, it's fall, it's nice. And then it's winter is coming. So, yeah, but I'm happy football season is back in full force. Also, before I dive into anything else, I'm excited to talk about all these things, looking at my notes here. If we are not connected on Instagram, let's fix that. I can't talk. Fix that situation. I have brackets on the back of my teeth, so I had to enunciate a bit more than usual. So yes, I am at cosmic_witch_goddess. Connect with me there. Especially in the IG stories, I ask questions and so forth. So it's really helping me to get to know you more, help us connect more. And of course, the podcast Instagram page, Enchantress_Society_podcast. So I am going to extend the enrollment for the Goddess Mastery Mastermind, mainly because I went on my vacation break and I posted about it on Instagram and I didn't get a chance to talk about it on the podcast. So if you are interested, this is the fourth round for this mastermind, this lovely mastermind. You can go to, and I'm going to put the link in the description for this episode, Goddess Mastermind. So it's tiamariejohnson.com/Goddess Mastermind. I even interviewed a student from the previous round, so you can go check her out. And that episode is, I will tell you in one moment. I love this because now you're seeing a lot of behind the scenes. Normally, I would press pause and pick right back up like nothing happened, but now you see me with my phone. So it's episode 387, Student Spotlight with Brittany Bordeaux of the Goddess Mastery Mastermind. So listen to that episode and that give you all the insight you need about our live Q&As, before, during, after, the transformations that happen, and so forth. So the Goddess Mastery Mastermind is a 90-day sacred transformational course for spiritually centered people. And we touch on a lot of topics. So I'm not going to get too much into it right now because I want to get to the actual life updates and all that jazz. But in a nutshell, this is all about helping you, guiding you on that journey of that draining survival mode, that life where you just feel like you're in this hamster wheel. You feel like you are this unappreciated personal assistant, where you just feel like things aren't really happening for you. and it's a bit stagnant, and you have to overcome a lot, such as feeling like you're not being respected, such as your boundaries, such as being reconnected with yourself and trusting yourself. All right. So this is about helping you live a very satisfying, powerful, magical, sovereign life. And we go over 5 pillars. And the things that I teach in this course are the very things that I implemented in my life and continue to implement. And it's also based off of my first book, To Be Goddess. So I'm going to quickly go over the 5 pillars, what's included. So pillar 1 is the if then process. Pillar 2 is the triple moon goddess. Pillar 3 deals with boundaries, allies, resentment, and networking. Pillar 4, fluent in the language of spirit. And pillar 5, discovering and owning your spiritual gifts. So we will be diving into your clairs, clairvoyancy and things like that. And so this program includes weekly live Q&As, downloadable trainings, worksheets, so you get access to everything when you enroll. All right, and other bonuses and lifetime access. And there are 2 ways you can enroll. The Goddess Mastery enrollment is the one-time payment of $1,000, and you get a 60-minute Oracle and strategy session that is valued at $222. Or you have the option to do the 12-month investment plan of $84. So I'll let you go to the landing page and read more. Of course, if you have questions, you can always email me or reach out, DM me on Instagram. All right, got that out the way. Now I feel better about myself because I definitely did not talk about it. And I need to take a quick sip of my Nespresso. You're seeing so much now. I am so giddy for so many reasons, and we're going to get into it. I love Nespresso. I'm drinking the Audacio. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And my Starbucks mug from Strasbourg, France. So I'm going to just press a little, mute right here. Glorious, glorious. I feel like you're seeing so much behind the scenes because, again, I would have just pressed pause and took that sip. All right, so how I'm doing, we're wrapping up Virgo season. Libra season is on its way. And I laugh now when I think about, or a little chuckle when I think about Libra season, because I came across this astrologer who said that Beyonce's birth chart has a lot of Libra in it. So Virgos can't claim her. I was just like, we are 100% claiming Queen Beyonce. Okay. I mean, come on. She has a song with Virgo in it. Okay. All right. So, I mean, I get it though. Astrology is so much more than your, just your sun sign. I totally get it, but we're claiming her. Okay. I have a lot of Leo and Gemini in my chart, but I'm a rising sign Virgo. So, I'm always rooting for the Leos and the Geminis too, but I'm a Virgo. All right, so I'm in a really, 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 really good place. And I want to share this with you because I want you to get in a really, really good place too. And I know some people may say, like, oh my gosh, why really, really? Why can't you say you're in an extraordinary place or something like that? Because there's an emphasis when you say, like, really, really, for example, if you say I'm done, no, I'm done, like I'm completely done. Sometimes people don't get it when you say I'm done, I'm finished. Like, are you sure? So when I say a really good place, I mean a really good place, capital R. I feel at peace. I felt whole in the past, but that wholeness it came with a lot of strings attached, if that made sense. My sense of feeling complete when I was younger was attached to outside approval, certificates. I love learning, don't get me wrong. But when I had a certificate of achievement, it's like, yeah, I'm smart. Look at me. Now my wholeness just comes from me. And it's so fulfilling. It's just like, wow, like this is great. And I'm at peace with so many things. I don't regret anything. I zoom out and always look at the bigger picture. And even when something pulls at my vulnerable strings, I reach out to my best friend and I talk it over with her, because it's great to know yourself. And I know myself. I know I don't want to say weaknesses. I want to say there's like a two-part of being vulnerable. There's vulnerability when you're around the right people and you feel comfortable and you share with them your hopes, your dreams, your fears, and all that, your insecurities, whatever is going on. And then there's the vulnerable where it's just like, oh, I have a soft spot for, say, like elderly people, right? So whenever that comes up, I'm so grateful that I have a best friend who understands me, and I can just tell her a situation and she can just help me dissect it and piece it back together. And so, leading up to my birthday, August 31st, Virgo, I turned 37, and I had to remember that because after 25, I just stopped counting. I mean, what's the point? I mean, right? So I wanted a very chilled birthday. I didn't want to do much. I just wanted to relax somewhere. But I had a problem even finding where to relax because I'm pretty much in chill mode now. So what would be that difference, that determining factor? And besides that, there was all these airline issues. Clearly, I'm not shaming them, but it's clear that the airlines are trying to make their money back from the previous years. I mean, now I was looking up I was looking at, what was it, Key West, and then I was looking at Mexico, and now there wasn't a direct flight. At the time I was looking, there were no direct flights, or if there was a direct flight, it was some crazy price. And I'm just thinking to myself, since when you can't have a direct flight to Mexico? It was the principle for me. And I'm saying this because when things have not difficulty, but when it seems like it's just not working and you're looking at this and you're just like, I can't justify the price, or it doesn't feel right. There's always something better. Keep that in mind, because I was completely done with it. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go to a spa. And so I came across, what is her podcast? I can't think of it right now. But I came across a podcast where Sex and Wealth Codes with Amber Leitz, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. I don't remember. Yeah, I can't talk. Don't remember right now. But she talked about a wine bath that she took at a spa, or that she had at a spa. So I figured maybe I'll get a wine bath. And that's luxury and pleasure. And that's one of the reasons why I'm also am in a really good space. I've been diving so much into pleasure and, sensuality, and really just learning more about myself, and, really taking more time for me. So I figured, you know what? Let's do this luxury wine bath. And my best friend messaged me, and she suggested Montreal. Now, Canada was not on my radar at the time. And shout out to Canada, Montreal. I look at the stats, and there are so many of you from Montreal who listen. So I love you so, so much. And she has suggested going to Bota. It's a spa on a boat. And so I thought, I didn't understand it at first, like a spa on a boat. What does that look like? So, I rode with it. I trust my best friend, and I figured, let's do it. So I went to Montreal, and it was a blast. That was my second time visiting Montreal. My French is rusty as hell. Super rusty French. And that's really because I don't have anyone to speak French with. I used to practice with my pop, and I almost minored in French in college. But my pop passed, and I just, a lot of things that were associated with him, I just stopped partaking in, like soccer. We used to watch soccer together, things like that. So my French is rusty. I just need a little time to decipher some things, but I can get the basics. So we had a great time. I'm looking at my notes here. We did a food tour, because I'm skipping one thing because I want to come back to it. We did a food tour, And I'm bringing this up because I'm so proud of myself. For those of you who are new to my podcast, I have a lot of issues with my foot and leg. I have nerve damage. I have a lot of metal in my foot. And so I manage chronic pain and nerve damage. And walking, uh, unless like the adrenaline is pumping, walking, I have certain limitations. And I know those limitations. However, I've been working even harder with physical therapy and things like that. So I was able to walk for an hour, 20 minutes. An hour, 20 minutes. We walked. It was so great. The weather was nice. So we went to Schwartz. I feel like I'm mispronouncing it. I should have wrote this down. One moment, because I have it on my Instagram. It was so good. We went to Schwartz. What I guess Schwartz Deli. That meat sandwich was so good. We went to Little Italy. We went to a couple of places to get poutine. We went to the oldest poutine place. We went to one that was deemed the most famous poutine place. We went to a cute little restaurant in Little Italy where I got a really cool drink. So I'll post more on Instagram. I'm taking a little break right now. I don't know exactly when I will return to post. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this life update, is because I just felt like I needed to take a break, but we'll get into that. So yeah, we had a great food tour, and some of the people were so amazed because the people who we were talking to, they saw two women and they swore we were going to go shopping. But my best friend and I do not like clothes shopping. We don't care for shopping, but a food tour we will do. Okay. So yeah, that was so great. I worked out, and I love working out because I just feel strong. I feel sexy. I feel so powerful. And so the spot on a boat, Bota, oof, those pools, it was so beautiful. So beautiful. We arrived just as the sun was, or right before the sun was setting. So it's a stationary boat, and the entire boat is a spa. So one moment, I need to take a sip here. Man, I'm telling you, Nespresso has got it right. So yeah, so we went to all these different pools and steam rooms. My lungs just opened up. And then, as I love the nighttime, surprise, surprise. So just as it was, the sun was setting, it was just so magical looking. And then when the sun set, the pools that were outside next to the boat, so the whole boat was a spa. And then there were pools outside of the boat off to the side. And it had the blue light in it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till I get my mansion. And I'm going to have blue lights in my pool. And it's going to be like, I'm living on Sirius. Okay. It was such a beautiful, beautiful experience. And we went to Old Montreal. So we went to the Notre Dame there. It was just beautiful. So the one point I want to circle back to is the zip lining. And I did post that on my Instagram. And the reason why I posted the zip lining piece is because it's something that I wanted to do. I didn't want it. So it wasn't on my list. I don't have a list per se, but I am developing one. And I don't want to say bucket list, because when I complete it all, then what? Okay, die. No. This is going to be my list. I actually named it my expansion list. Okay. So I wanted to do the zip lining. I was just feeling like I want to do it. And again, never had the inkling to do in the past. I thought it was cool, but not for me. And it was our last day there. And we walked past and we were, what was that called? I don't remember what it's called. But anyway, I was looking up, and my best friend and her husband were there, and they were just like, won't you zip line, T? I'm like, I don't know, it's our last day, like, let's just go. It's okay. And, again, this goes back to your support system. The people who know you, right? They see your facial expression, they pick up off the vibes, they know that you just need that space to just think, just to hold that space for you. And so I was looking up, I was like, no, no, no. And they were giving me all the reasons I should do it. They were just saying, on the way home, you're going to regret it. And it was cheap. I think it was like $25. Like, it was crazy. And it was a pretty short zip line too. I mean, it was long for me, but they went zip lining in longer places. So they just said, this is a great start if you want to do it. And it looks like you really want to do it. So I was like, all right, cool. So, all right. So I am nervous as hell with a capital H. Okay. So, all right, I pay and you got to go up a bunch of stairs. Okay. I mean, it is like, to me, it felt like, in Harry Potter, when they play the Quidditch games, those long, the very tall, whatever you call those boosties, you got to go all the way up. It felt like that. My mouth got dry. I've met this one lady while we were going up to the top and we were hyping each other up. It was a journey just to get to the top. And I got to the top, I got hooked up and I couldn't do it. I just said, no, I'm sorry, I can't. I need a moment. And then I let a couple people go by, then I go, okay. Get hooked up, can't do it again. I'm like, I can't, sorry. And I'm apologizing. I'm saying, I'm sorry. I don't mean to waste your time. I'm sorry. I even text my best friend, I'm not going to do it. But something in me was just like, Tia, you are not a quitter. If it's something that you really want to do, you always do it. Even if you are scared, nervous, whatever, you always done it in the past. So I watched a couple more people go, some kids went. Finally, I did it. And I wanted to record the whole experience, but I needed to just lock in. So I just turned my phone off. I took a deep breath, held my hands up, listened to everything the instructor was saying. I closed my eyes, push. I got pushed. And then I opened my eyes and I felt the breezes. There was like a little river below. It was so beautiful. And before I realized it, it was over. And I'm saying this because there will always be times where we try to psych ourselves out, where we try to say, oh, I'll do it next time. It happens to the best of us, right? There will always be times where we think that, this isn't for me, or the journey seemed like it's too much. When I tell you my mouth was dry, and it didn't make any sense whatsoever. It was a lot of steps, okay? And we have to remember that we have to let go. If it's something that you truly want to do deep down on the inside, it's piquing your interest, go for it. This isn't about if you are afraid of snakes to face your fears and, go touch a snake. If you feel like that's what's going to help you to face some other fears, go for it. I approach it as, will it help me in my personal growth as well? Is it something that I want to do? And will it help me expand, grow? At the time, I wasn't thinking about expanding and growing. I was just like, I hope this cable doesn't snap and I end up in the river. Right. But deep down inside, I knew that I wanted to do it. I just needed a moment. And that's what I did. I gave myself a moment right before I got hooked up the third time. And I went for it. And in doing that, I felt exhilarated. It was something that happened when I did that I can't quite put my finger on, but it was just like I discovered a new part of myself, that daring aspect that was just purely something from left field too. And that's what spirit does. Spirit presents these opportunities for us to expand and grow. We just have to recognize it and not talk ourselves out of it. And that's where our support system comes from. I value friendship so much, and I encourage you to examine the people in your life. I talk about this often in my masterminds. I talk about this often when I have my one-on-one coaching. And it's not just a saying, you are the average of the 5 people you are around. It's true, but it's so much deeper, okay? Because the more open you are with the right people, okay? Like like my VIP people list is like very tiny. Like if you're looking at the YouTube video, you'll see my hand is like this big, right? Who I feel completely 100% comfortable around, who I could be vulnerable around and not worry about anything. And those are the people who want you to succeed no matter what, who will encourage you. And you can even go to my Instagram and see, even I posted a message between me and my best friend where she was just saying, you can do it, count to 30. You just need those people in your corner, and you always will. That's part of your foundation. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with needing help. There's nothing wrong with needing that boost, that push, that cheering. Nothing wrong with it, as long as it's something that you truly want to do. And it's something that you truly need as well, because sometimes we may not want to do something, but it's something that we need. And you always know when you need it too. It's always that kind of like, I see what they're saying, but or sometimes people don't want to admit it. I'm not that person. Okay. It depends on who is dispensing the advice, because sometimes people say things and it's not just no. Okay. It also depends who's giving the advice. So with the zip lining experience, I'm on a new personal journey. And I'm going to get more into that at a later episode, because I want to have some results to give you. And this new personal journey is all about expansion. And so there are some things that I want to do in my life, some things I want to experience, some things that I've like entertained over the years, like, oh, I would like to do that, but never really pursued it. I'm doing it. All right. So these are the things that are getting me a little out of my comfort zone, a lot out of my comfort zone. But what the hell? We're here to have experiences and understand our likes, our dislikes, and so forth. And so I'm going to walk it like I talk it. So before we get to all that jazz, I want to pull some oracle cards and give more updates with the podcast. So I'm on this new journey of, like I said, expansion, and I decided to get another reading. I'm looking at my actual written notes here, making sure I covered everything. Yes, I did. All right. So I decided to get a reading from my girl, AJ, okay, the Glamour Witch. She's been on the podcast a couple of times. She's going to come back on for a very special episode, so stay tuned. All right, so I got a reading from her. I've been going to her for 2 years now. And for a while, I've been feeling like what I call in my my cosmic goddess mastermind, the cosmic waiting room. I just felt like I've been put on pause. There have been some things that I felt like should have been more. There are things that I felt like should have happened, or at least some inclination, right? Like if I was, like for example, I am looking for my warlock. Okay, as many of you know, I am looking for my man. Okay, so I was thinking, hey, spirit, like, can I at least meet him and we start talking? What's going on? There are so many things I want to do in my business. I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's the next move? And I just felt like it's just been pause. And even when I meditated, I heard pause, wait. And I'm just like, oh, come on. What else is there to do? Even when I met up with a friend for lunch, she came down from New York, and she asked me, how do you know that there's nothing else for you to do? And I said, because I do all the things that I know I need to do, all the things I'm supposed to do, until there's nothing else to do. So outside of going ziplining, right, because that's the opportunity that presented itself, I'm talking about day to day. Okay, I'm talking about self-care. I love my skincare regimen. My Fenty product got me feeling good, my face smelling good. She came out with the milky toner, smell like honey and oats. Okay, I meditate for hours. different types of meditations and breathing and things like that. So I'm really good with the day-to-day self-care. I'm really good with just doing different magical practices and so forth, and eating good and drinking good and things like that. Just following spirit, just working on my chakras, all that. And I felt like spirit was just putting a cap on certain things. And when I thought about it, I'm so appreciative for that, because looking back, now I know I just wouldn't have the capacity for certain things. I thought I did at the time because I was so excited. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I got a reading from Alexis, and one of the first things that she said was to slow down, and spirit is having me in this space for reevaluation. It is Mercury retrograde right now. This is a great time to reevaluate things, not to be afraid, not to, oh my gosh, don't sign contracts. You may want to reread a contract, right? Especially if Mercury retrograde is lasting for weeks. Are you really going to hold off on a contract, especially if you're getting paid? No, you're going to reread the contract. You're going to ask questions. You're going to take your time, right? So I had to take my time. I need to learn new magical practices, which I felt too. I felt like there's a rebirth, a renaissance, if you will. And I'm excited for that. I feel like there's a new, not even just a chapter. I feel like there's a new book of Tia coming, and lots of great things. And one thing I want to say about the reading was that Spirit said, I need to calm down with the lust for results. And that's true. I mean, I'm a Virgo, rising sun Gemini. I'm like, all right, what we got to do? Let's get it done. Let's get it done. All right, come on. Let's okay. So it's just like, I am result driven. I love results, but I have to chill. And I encourage you to do the same. And that's what helps to maintain being in a really good place. Understanding divine timing. Wow, yes, it's just like, yeah. We all know divine timing, yeah. But what about, we have to really focus on understanding the things that we can control, the things that we can't control. And that's another reason why the zip lining was so powerful for me, because the sole reason why I didn't want to do it is because I don't like my feet dangling. I don't like that feeling of when you're just floating around and and you can't control it. I like being in a pool where I can stand up, right? So I'm zip lining and my feet are like this. I'm just like, I wish it was a little like little plank that I could just put my feet on. But I had to learn to let go. I can't be in control of everything and figure out all the possibilities of how something's going to turn out and how to, handle that situation. If that came out, everything doesn't need an analysis that deep, right? So I had to learn where to surrender, which I've done in the past. And the thing is, this is why we can't be hard on ourselves. Sometimes we have to learn how to surrender to one thing before we can get to that third or fourth thing. So while sometimes we may think, oh, another lesson, yeah, but you couldn't learn that lesson until you finished that lesson. So while you may think like, oh, but I surrendered, oh, but I let go with discernment, okay? That doesn't mean you let go with everything, right? You got to have that discernment. Doing that helps you to understand how you can maneuver in life, right? To leave yourself open to certain scenarios, to allow the unseen to happen, or to allow the background work, I should say. And that's what my reading, part of it was about, that, spirit is working up a concoction for me. And of course, it's going to be great. And I have to reevaluate other things in my life that are like empty calories. And I'm tightening up on that. So I'm encouraging you to learn, where can you tighten up? Okay. Where can you find people of like mind? I'm not saying you had to agree with every single thing, but where are those people? those people come about when you put yourself out there more and more and more. All right. And that doesn't mean you have to put yourself out there 100% and say all the magical rituals that you do. You just put yourself out there a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And that's what I learned as well over the years, is a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And also the reading was about getting out of my comfort zone. I didn't even realize I was in a comfort zone. And that's the thing. It's great to have people who get to know you, who have your best interest in mind, right? You don't want to go to a reader who wants to tell you what you want to hear. You want to go to a reader that's going to tell you what you need to hear. So it's like, I use this example often. It was an interview with Tiger Woods, and someone asked Tiger Woods, if since you're like and I'm paraphrasing, you're the greatest golf player, why do you have a coach? And he said, because I can't see my own swing. And it's like that. We may be in a comfort zone and not realize it, because we know that we work so hard to get to that one place. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but now you overstay and you're welcome. So now it's time to move on a bit. All right. So that's where I'm at. I am embarking in a new personal journey, my expansion list that I will be filling you in probably in a month or so. Certain things have to happen, for me to get back to you. I just feel like my frequency just changed, and I don't know, there really aren't any words to really explain it, just besides, saying I'm in a really good place. And that's what I want for everyone, is to be in their own personal, really good place. Whether you're a plant mom and you have a bunch of plants everywhere and you're drinking your tea, or you're an espresso in your Starbucks mug that what is it called? Like, I forget what the line is called, like, I travel here, I've been here, or something like that. It's the things that bring, but I can't talk, these brackets. It's the thing that brings me pleasure as well. I love collecting shot glasses and mugs. And that's one of the core reasons why I'm in a really good place. I've just been embracing more pleasure, more music, more things that just make me feel good and happy. And you may think, oh, but I don't want to be selfish. It's not selfish. Trust me, there's so much energy, so much money, so much abundance to go around. It's just these certain blocks that are in place, and it's not necessarily done by you. It's just the programming. It's sometimes where you're living, and we just have to deprogram and break through that and go further and further and further to understand ourselves. And I see the changes in me all the time. Every time I work towards my personal growth, really focus on me, pour more into me, I shed the pounds. I don't even say lose pounds, because what you lose, you can gain. It just vanishes, because I'm someone who emotionally eats to like beef myself up to get ready for the world. I don't have to do that. Right? Unknowingly, I was emotionally eating. And also, we carry the weight of other people's drama and things like that, which is why I am such a strong advocate for boundaries, because if we don't have boundaries established, we all right, are going to figure out how we can cope with that. And it shows up differently in different people. Some people drink, some people emotionally eat, well, overdrink, drinking too much, eating too much. Maybe they're scrolling on their phone too much to disassociate. We don't have to do that. All right. And that's why I love the masterminds that I do, because I help people to not go to unhealthy ways or break from unhealthy ways to cope, because they don't have boundaries. All right. And to debunk things about pleasure and really pouring into yourself. Every person I know who dives into their own pleasure and they're not harming anyone in the process are flourishing financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, flourishing. They're in their own agency, their own sovereignty. They're in their own bubble. They're like, hey, you can join me, but you can't upset this area, but you're more than willing, more than welcome to join. And that's the thing. And that's the vibe frequency I'm at. Love, pleasure, peace, happiness. It doesn't mean that unfortunate things don't happen. It means I'm better equipped to handle them. All right, so I'm going to pull some oracle cards and discuss a little bit about what's to come. I'm going to get the deck. All right, I feel like I've been talking for so long, so let's get to it. I left my favorite oracle card deck at my best friend's house, so I am using another one of my favorite, but the other one is like my go-to. This is the spellcasting oracle card. So if you're on YouTube, you can see what these, there you go. You can see what these cards look like. I'll add the link to the YouTube channel here. Let's do a little quick shuffle. All right, the courage card came up. How appropriate. What a beautiful card. So it's a card of a lion, and it's like he's stepping through a portal because it's a diamond-shaped frame around the lion's face. And so, I mean, this is partially what I've been talking about during this episode is, you know, the courage. Give yourself a moment. It's okay if you feel, you know, nervous. It's okay if you feel like hesitant, whatever the case may be. If it's something you truly want to do, if it's something that's really calling for you, break it down, give yourself a moment, have a pep talk. Okay, you can do this. You just have to understand that at the end of the day, it's you. It always will be you. Okay. Going back to the zip lining, my friends could have encouraged me all they want. At the end of the day, I have to make the decision to go. Right. So keep that in mind. Next is well-being. Okay. So again, going back to focusing on self-care, pour more into yourself and start to be more of who you are. As I said at the top of the podcast, I was going to wear a blouse and, you know, be a little bit more, you know, like, oh, welcome. I'm just going to be me. I mean, that is me too. But I just felt like wearing my hocus pocus, you know, t-shirt in the beginning, you know, why not? So focus on your well-being. Get a therapist. Now you can contact a therapist on an app. You know, get your blood panels checked. You know, just do that whole complete well-being check for yourself. Dreams. Oh, nice. So, what's the life that you are dreaming of? What does the lifestyle you want entail? This isn't just about nighttime dreams, but also daydreaming. Daydream more, visualize more. What would it be like if something really worked for you? And also, I'm hearing dream about diving into small pleasures. So, for example, you know, I had my espresso, I've been drinking it. Your small pleasure may be your cup of coffee with a special creamer. And maybe that creamer is $4, $3.69, something like that. And you're just like, oh, there's a cheaper creamer. And maybe other people have said, oh, that's a ridiculous price for a creamer. But maybe that creamer in your coffee just give it that nice little, and it just makes your experience of drinking coffee the way you like it pleasurable. Give yourself that. If you don't spend anything on yourself but the $3.65 for a creamer, do that. It's okay. It's okay. Because the thing is, money is energy. And I'm not going to go deep into that because that's a whole nother episode and things we have to uncover and so forth. When you direct your energy towards the things that you value, more money, more advantage, not advantage, more opportunities and things flow that way. So for example, you may come across a coupon where you can get that creamer for $2. You know, the universe is going to make it so that way you can constantly get that. And watch what happens, how you're always going to have a way to get that creamer. And when you dive into that pleasure, it's like a domino effect. And it's just like, well, this brings me happiness to pleasure. What else can I do? Or, you know what? I'm going to get a nice mug to drink my coffee in. Yeah. So now it's like you are diving into more of the experience, the aesthetics, the environment, right? It gets multi-layered. And then next you may wear comfortable clothes. You may get a nice bathrobe. You're going to keep up in the ante. And that's what it's about. All right. Last, clarity. All right. So get clear about what you want. It's okay if you don't know all the steps now. It's okay if you don't even know the first step to take. When you want to do something, whether it's to get toned, get rid of the weight, you just want to eat better, you want to understand your intuitive gifts more, whatever it is, you first just have to get clear that you want help for it, that you want to seek advice, you want help in this area. And then let go. Go on Instagram, talk to someone about it. Hey, I'm looking to change the way I eat. And your friend may say, oh, I started this plan. Maybe it worked. You could try it out. And it may take a few trial and errors. That's okay. It's part of the process. And then you're going to find something that works just for you. And it may be a hybrid of something. You may just decide to take into your own hands and craft something just for yourself because you gain knowledge in this area. But either way, all you have to do is get clear about what you want and about what you need. That's it. And then the steps start to appear. One more. Confidence. This goes with the courage card. So, confidence is multi-layered and is something that you're going to have to check periodically, right? You can be confident in one area, not in another area. You may be confident in one area for a year, a few years, and then you're just like, okay. So check your confidence. In the Goddess Mastery Mastermind, there will be a new training added called the Confidence Cauldron. So when you get set up for that, enroll in that, you will have access to the Confidence Cauldron. I know I said one more, but let's do one more, then we wrap it up. Friendships. This is what I am a huge proponent of. And then you see in this card here too, it's like a higher self, higher power looking over, blessing of friendship. And this woman is just like glowing in the middle and people are surrounding her and encouraging her. If your friends aren't supporting you in some way, shape, or form, they aren't encouraging you, they aren't investing in that friendship, it's time to find new friends. I know that might sound harsh. I know it may be like, but Tia, I know this person since grade school. I know this person since high school, since college, or they're from the neighborhood. I don't care. I literally don't care. If this person is not for you, they need to not be in your inner circle or even several outer circles for that matter, because the thing is, with people who you grew up with or the people who you share certain experiences with, if they are not growing as well, many times, and I have seen this time and time again, they get jealous. They don't want you to grow. They love that you have no boundaries. They want you to grow, but not to do, in their mind, better than them. And that's even more dangerous than someone who doesn't want you to do better than them. Because what that means is they will sabotage you. They would say things to make you have self-doubt and so forth, because they don't want you to grow past them. Meaning if they have a house with 2 bedrooms, 1 car garage, and you're living in an apartment, that's fine for them. If you move in a condo, they start to get a little, oh, you spend all that money for a condo, but maybe that's what you want to do, right? Now, a few years later, you get a house and it's 4 bedrooms, 2 car garage, pool in the back. Now it's, they start to act real funny, right? That you invite them over your house, some things get broken, you got to watch out for that. So Really buckle down on your friendships. Make sure that you are also paying attention to your friends. Make sure that you are pouring into friendships. So many people do not value friendships, and it is so crucial in your life. All right, Enchantress. So that wraps up I forgot to tell you upcoming things. So upcoming podcast, I have some really juicy topics coming your way, and I was going to say them, but I think I'll wait. So there's some juicy topics coming your way. If there is a topic that you want me to cover, you know the drill. Email me. I'll look into it. All right, see if it's a good fit. And you never know, your topic may be a topic on the podcast, and I will definitely give you a shout out. I'll say your first name and where you're from. All right, so sending you lots of love, many blessings. You know, I'm rooting for you. Be kind to yourself. Until next time.